Hello, hi there, Cancerians. I do hope that you are all gorgeous and well. Welcome to my channel. My name is Bella, and most people know me as Bella the Secret Psychic, and this is your love horoscope for February 2019. If you're watching me for the first time, I'm a psychic reader, so I don't use cards. And if you'd like to know more about me and my services, down below. I think I just said that. Sorry. What's that? Sorry, I had something on my face. So most of you know that I only do one take of this, and I like to jump right in there. First of all, Cancerians, my guides are saying here, why are you losing your voice? A lot of you seem to not be speaking your truth because you seem to be afraid that if you really say what's on your mind, that you may lose somebody or something. It's a hard one because, yes, you may run that risk a little bit. So that's one of my cats. Can you see him? But anyway, some of you may feel like that way. I don't know, my guides are trying to install in you that you're much more powerful than you think, or that you have much more meaning to somebody than you think. So if you've been bottling up saying something because maybe somebody's not appreciating you the way that you hope they would, or that they are not giving you what you need in the relationship, and you're too afraid to say something about it because of fear of loss, one would argue that perhaps you've lost it already because you haven't actually spoken your mind. If you're having to, change yourself, be less of yourself by not speaking up, walking on eggshells, then are you in the right kind of connection? And it doesn't matter if you're in a long-term connection, maybe broken up, but it's in that kind of weird place where you couldn't be getting back together, or whether you're dating for the first time. Don't change who you are. Don't tiptoe. And definitely speak your truth, because it will work into your favor. It works in your favor either way, but I'll show you how it's coming out in your relationship reading for this month. So if you can, and I think some of you will feel the real urge for this in the first week, even if you never saw this video. Even if you've seen this afterwards, I think some of you would have done this off your own back, because it feels to me that something has just got a bit too stressful, that this person's pushing things too far. And you will tell them some home truths that you've been holding in. The trouble is that when you've been holding on to things for so long, it can come out quite gutting, can't it? Because it's like, I've had enough of this. That's fine. You don't need to control that, it is what it is. You finally have your voice, you'll finally say that. And then I get some of you panicking, so you'll be like, oh God, what have I done? They probably hate me now. No. It feels like whatever you said has the right enough amount of scare for the other person for them to take some responsibility for how they have been doing. For most of you, there will be a small handful where actually your bark has meant that it's meant to end the relationship. But for most of you, about 80% of you, your bark actually gets them to look at themselves, actually gets them to compromise with you, or to give you more, or to be more appreciative. And to their defense, they may have only been that way because you were allowing them to be that way also too. So it's a lesson for you around communicating and to be authentic, even if you fear losing something, because all you do is lose your self-respect, don't you? When you speak your mind fairly quick in the first week, it very quickly, very, very, very quickly, within a day to a week, but for some of you it can happen instantaneously, that other person immediately wants to do the right thing, to either repair this, to compromise with you, to come back, to do whatever they want, whatever you wanted them to do. So for example, if you're broken up with somebody, but you've been sort of talking, and I've got a client like that at the moment where they're sort of talking, but there's no commitment going there, and you're just like, I'm fed up, make your mind up, we're in or out of this because I'm getting hurt by this. They suddenly, because it's what they want, they suddenly say, yeah, it is what I want, so let's stop messing around. Is this a situation where actually you have needed them to compromise, perhaps because they've broken your trust on something and you've been trying to compromise with them about that? They do it. I also get here that they're bringing up a lot about people who have long distance relationships, or perhaps the person that you're in lives further away from you, because whatever you say seems to make them come to you fairly quick. So some of that could be that you might be frustrated that you haven't seen them, or that they were supposed to come and see you and they haven't. They will come, or at least come to fix it. And with that comes lots of promises. I get them putting loads of things on you. You get slightly the opposite of having nothing, or getting this frustration, to suddenly being overwhelmed with what they're giving you. And that will definitely last for the second week and the third week. You finally feel like you're moving in the right direction. And again, I get, particularly again, of those of you who live far away, but them trying to, you are their world, this person, and I get them wanting to make plans. But even if it's not a long distance thing, I get them seeing you as their world and wanting to do more. And they do more, but it feels a bit over the top. However, the thing is, where my guides keep saying here is, like, you've lost your voice, you seem to find it, but you need to still be consistent with it. Because the trouble is with the other person, where they've been so used to you perhaps turning a blind eye, not voicing up, and also because they've just love bombed you, basically, sorry about that, with so much. One could argue that because they're slightly showing us slightly slipping back at the last week. And that's the most important time for you to reinsert your voice, because if you, after they've love bombed you, suddenly be like, oh, well, I don't want to rock the boat again because it's been so nice, I've just done this one little thing, it would be a mistake. Because sometimes people don't realise they're acting in a certain way. And what I get from this other person is that they don't want to lose you, they want to kind of pacify the situation, so they give you lots, and then they try to go back to how it was. And you could allow them to be, and then you'll just be right back to square one, but maybe worse, where you really don't want them anymore. So it's important that you maintain your voice, and I'm not going to lie, by you voicing it, because they'll feel a little bit affronted that they've been giving you all this nice stuff, and they might even say, well, I've done this, this and this the last few weeks, why are you having a go at me over this one little thing? It's not a little thing, it's a little thing that can be a big problem. And you are being asked to voice it, to nip it in the bud once and for all. So do expect a bit of an argument in that fourth week. But it should shut down and stop them doing it, and to get them to know that you are serious, that you weren't just saying it and blowing off steam for them to come and love bomb you, that you mean it. All right? It's only in that last week that kind of, I said that 80% of you it works for. It's only in that week that perhaps 70% of you will continue, because they're still being shown a little bit just at that end that if that person is way too stubborn to make this better, then you will be listening to your own voice, the one that comes out of you and your higher self, where you may be very much determined that you want to just walk away from somebody who isn't taking your relationship seriously enough to put in continued effort instead of just lapsing back into the old ways of being. But for most of you, it works very, very, very well. So the largest lesson here, or message here this month, Cancerians, is find your voice. Speak up, say what you need, and then say it again. And everything, for most of you, will work out just the way you want it. Because they do. Even for where it doesn't work out, they do actually care and love you and want to be with you. But just because we love and care about people doesn't make a relationship right, unless both people are putting in some effort. And that's pretty much how it's been shown. I hope that's been insightful. I hope that's been helpful for you today. And I'll be back again next month with another reading. Take care.